So pretty much everything I enjoy, that's off the menu, right? Yep, that's about it. It sounds like pregnancy diets. This is a topic that I really wanted to do. It's been such an adjustment, not only during this pregnancy, but also my first pregnancy. And this is foods and beverages to avoid or lessen. And boy, has it been a lesson in love, showing us that love is selfless and giving. That's one of the things that bonded me most deeply to Victor when I was pregnant the first time, was before I could see him, before the first scan, it was the fact that I had to give up so many things that I loved doing, like smoking, drinking coffee, or copious amounts of coffee. And we'll go through the list, but it definitely bonded me, and it just shows your child later on in life, but also through the energy that you send to your child by doing this action, that I'm your number one. I got you. Even before birth, you always have mommy. I'm always here for you. I'm your number one supporter, and I love you for life. Welcome to Baby Bump Vlog. Today we're going through a very interesting topic, and many studies are inconclusive, but when they are inconclusive, it's better to err on the side of caution. So let's jump right into it. Let's go for the one that I think I miss most, and that is raw or undercooked meat. As a South African, one of our South African identities is having a braai. So what's a braai? A braai is a barbecue. We make a fire and we roast meat. And it wasn't uncommon for me as a child to have a braai with my parents 3 times a week. This is the way I grew up. It's my culture as an Afrikaans person. And I love meat. I love my meat medium rare. Bloodied salt Tabasco. And I'm not sponsored by Tabasco. However, there is many safety precautions that we have to take during pregnancy. And one of these would be that we need to take particular care when it comes to having rare meat, or even medium rare steak, poultry, pork, sausages, mince, and even burgers. So why is this? It's because of toxoplasmosis. Toxoplasmosis is an infection that's caused by a parasite found in, among other sources, undercooked meat. Most people have been infected throughout their life, but they didn't show signs or symptoms. However, when a fetus is infected with symptoms, it might be mild or severe. It can be life-threatening to the fetus right after birth. So the baby could definitely be very adversely affected. It's very important to wash surfaces and utensils thoroughly when working with meat. It's important, as always, and it's been drilled into our collective consciousness through this pandemic we're going through, to wash and dry your hands to help avoid the spread of salmonella, Campylobacter, and E. coli. These have immense adverse effects within your pregnancy and also for your unborn baby. So that's something I miss a lot, but it's super important, and I do it with love. Food and beverages with too much caffeine. That's been something I'm missing a lot, is not guzzling down the coffee, although I did make a cup for this episode, because after being for my first scan and speaking to the doctor, he said, Margaret, it's safe to have 2 cups of coffee a day. Don't overdo it. have a lot of water. And remember that there are sneaky sources of caffeine, such as chocolate. So just be aware of your intake, but it's not totally banned. So that was like, yes, just a little bit of coffee. Coffee is bad because it can cause miscarriage, low birth weight, and it really is an inconclusive study. Some studies show the prior statements that I've spoken about, and other studies are inconclusive because they did them on animals. In humans, it remains inconclusive, which is the reason that it's better to err on the side of caution. Alcoholic drinks, that is a no-brainer because the alcohol enters your baby's bloodstream in the same concentration as it does yours. However, it takes 2 times longer to leave. It can cause miscarriage, stillbirth, and a range of lifelong physical, behavioral, and intellectual disabilities. No brainer. Then we look at raw or undercooked seafood. So I'm not the biggest fan of sushi. However, from time to time, I really have a sashimi craving. It's a no-go. It's an absolute no-go because it can bear salmonella. And the risk is too large. The risk of ingesting bacteria and parasites way too big. So no oysters, clams, or sushi. Bye. Raw or undercooked eggs. Definitely salmonella carrier. And some of the sneaky ways in which salmonella can harbor itself in a dish is through homemade mayonnaise and hollandaise sauce, because we use raw eggs for this. So be careful. That's also something I miss. I love a runny egg. Bye-bye. We eat our eggs hot. Don't use dirty or cracked eggs. No-go. It's a no-go even when you're not pregnant. One definite dish or food type that my doctor did instill in me and said no-go is cold cured meats. So in South Africa, I'm not sure of the time and place because I think there were 2 outbreaks of listeria nationwide where they banned polony and cold meats throughout outlets in South Africa. So my doctor definitely said no polony, ham, salami. It could be harboring listeria or the toxoplasma parasite. Interestingly enough, turkey and ham have also been preserved with nitrates, which are not good for a developing fetus. So that was something the doctor definitely said, Margaret. And I said, well, we have some polony in our fridge. What is my fiancé going to eat it alone now? And he said, just cook it thoroughly. And when I say thoroughly, I mean thoroughly so that the listeria can die. Unpasteurized cheeses. I miss this. No brie, camembert, feta, ricotta, blue cheese, gorgonzola, or chèvre. It can contain listeria and other bacteria. I miss this. I'm a cheese lover. It's quite a sad tale. So none of those unpasteurized cheeses. High mercury fish should be avoided. Swordfish, shark, big eyes tuna, marlin, tilefish from the Gulf of Mexico. Luckily, I'm not a fan of any of these, so it has not affected my life in the least. You also need to stay away from fish that may be high in contaminants, such as grouper, albacore, tuna, and non-organic farmed salmon. This is an interesting one. Raw sprouts. Who would have thought? Raw sprouts, not spout, sprouts, spout. This is my handle, this is my spout. Welcome to Baby Bump Vlog. Raw sprouts have been linked to Salmonella and E. coli. Interesting. Pate could also contain Listeria, so even if the pate is a vegetable pate, err on the side of caution. Too much liver products. No go, and it's been good for me. This is one of the ones that I love. I'm like, Chris, I'm sorry, I think we're having too much liver. Can't indulge with you. Sorry. I hate liver and any organs. Like, I do not eat any form of organs, which is something that's huge in South Africa as well. Offal. I'm happy about this. It has too much vitamin A. If you eat too many liver products or liver, and too much vitamin A may harm your baby. So I'm like, yes, au revoir. I'm not sad about it in the least. Too much sugar. Definitely my next episode will be on the adverse effect of too much sugar within your pregnancy, because I did suffer from gestational diabetes with my first pregnancy, and this is something that I'm looking at during this pregnancy, because not only is it harmful to your health, really harmful, it's very, very harmful to your baby's health. It's best to look at your sugar intake. Next episode will be about sugar. Pre-packaged salads may contain Listeria. So it's in the same vein as the raw sprouts and the pate, because just the way that it's refrigerated and stored, it might be harboring Listeria. The last one. In my last episode, I said that something that I've missed is chili. So where this comes from is, when I was pregnant with Victor, a family member told me that chili could cause my baby to be born as a colicky baby. And I took it very seriously, which is why I've been avoiding my number one love. More than cheese, more than steak, number one love is chili. And yeah, this is why I went to Mexico and Colombia. India is next on my list when the lockdown is over. I love chili. And in doing research after a friend of mine watched a baby bump vlog video, the last one, he said, I didn't know that chili is bad for the fetus. So I did some research, and this is what I came across. A majority of pregnant women experience indigestion because of hormonal changes and pressures from the growing fetus, which is why it's good to leave out the chili. Also diarrhea, heartburn, nausea, and your sense of smell. But the myth that it can adversely affect your baby, that it can lead to preterm labor or lead to miscarriage and congenital disabilities, none of these above statements have any scientific backing. When you are, however, breastfeeding, that's when it comes in. Then it might cause or worsen colic. So now it's up to me to just drive that home to Chris, because he believed what I said about the chili, took it very seriously, and I'm on a chili ban. I haven't had chili for about 2 months, and on a good day, I love chili. It says that there are feel-good enzymes within chili, and it's definitely a mood lifter. It makes me feel alive. So my next mission is just trying to get the chili back in the fridge. Ladies, thank you so much for joining me. This vlog is such a great way for me to express myself and to speak to my unborn baby, because he or she will be watching this vlog, I'm sure. And also just to have an outlet and to know that other mothers are going through very similar experiences, and I cherish this vlog. I love it. Thank you so much for this. News, quick news. I went through to the quarterfinals for the game show that shall not be named. From the quarterfinals, I went through to the semifinals. Yes. I didn't make the finals with like 450 Rand. I missed out. So that was an amazing experience. I loved it. I love reading. I enjoy watching the news. So it was amazing to be on a quiz show. But more of that when it comes out. Thank you for joining me, ladies. Love, growth, army. No, I'm joking. Love, growth, baby.